Come around so you can see what's really happening. Let me know in the chat room if you're there, if it's working. Like and share if you like it and share.
Because of you in Canberra and Sydney and Brisbane and Melbourne and Perth and Wellington and all the other towns in between, Forster's even got a rally. They know that they've got to throw us some crumbs. So they've dumped that tax. Now we move on to the next problem. So we'll get some of the speakers up and address, tell you what they want to talk about. We will have an open mic as well. So if you want to come and speak, please do. Come over to the side, tell me quickly what you want to do and we'll help you. But do not waste that opportunity with rubbish or silliness. We are here, mums, dads, nans and pops, kids and pets. We're stronger together and we're putting on our show for our friends on the side there, the Sideshow Alley. So, come on up. Yeah, you can go first. So Tony, from Independent Medical Officers Party, or now called the Heart Party.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? I'm here today to say I'm so pleased to see so many people here today. It's wonderful to see people come together for a cause that's worth fighting for. And this is really a cause worth fighting for. Government overreach has gone,
Here's one of your mates, Carl, from the Exposure 28 crew. Good to see you, mate.
Lose the plot. And we need to rein politicians in, and we need to make them work for us, not work for the corporates and technocrats and the UN and the WEF. So I want to start off by saying, let me start by saying that we are a nation built by migrants, people who came here seeking freedom, safety and a better life. And for generations, migration has enriched our country, culturally, economically and socially. But it's time we have an honest, mature conversation about mass migration, about the pace and scale of it, and what it means for our future. Because right now, Australians are feeling the pressure. When you can't afford a home, when your rent goes up again, when your hospital waiting list grows longer, when your kids can't find a full-time job, you start to wonder whether our population growth is outpacing our ability to cope. And the truth is, it is. In the past 2 years, Australia's population has grown by more than 1 million people, largely through migration. Yet our housing supply hasn't kept up. We're not building enough homes, roads, hospitals or schools. The strain shows up in every corner of our lives, from skyrocketing rents and rental shortages to unaffordable home prices. This is not about blaming people who come here. Most are hard-working, decent men and women who simply want what we all want. They want safety, opportunity and a future for their families. The fault lies with our government, who have opened the floodgates without a plan. So I'm here today to question government policies that put quantity over quality, short-term economic gain over long-term national stability. Our government has treated migration like a quick fix, to boost GDP, to keep wages low, to fill jobs instead of training Australians. And isn't it convenient?
March for Australia, mate.
Business benefits from mass migration. More workers means lower wages. More consumers means higher profits. But ordinary Australians Australians, especially young Australians, are the ones paying the price. Every person who comes here, I believe, should be welcomed with respect. But our government must ensure that when people migrate here, the foundation beneath them, housing, jobs, services, is solid. If we don't fix the imbalance, resentment will grow, division will deepen, and everyone, migrant and Australian born alike, will suffer. We need a migration system that works for our nation. Right now, we are seeing rents exploding, house prices out of reach, hospitals full, roads jammed, and wages are going backwards. Investigative journalist Alison Beveridge recently said in an article that globalists won the election and they're coming for your house. And she's right. She says what's happening in Australia is not accidental. It's a plan. A plan to drive up migration, overwhelm housing and lock ordinary Australians out of owning a home. Beveridge exposes how this works. They flood the country with record migration, far more than our housing or infrastructure can handle. Then they blame the market when prices skyrocket. The victims of this insane plan are families who can't afford to buy a home and young people who can't afford rental properties or afford rent. And while we struggle, global corporations
like and share, folks.
move in.
I don't have to like it, just share it.
Legislation that allows for the building of massive build-to-rent towers, not for Australians to own, but for people to rent forever. That's the new model. You own nothing, and they own everything.
You own nothing and you'll be happy. We've heard that before.
Our leaders are following a script written by global institutions and billionaire backers who talk about stakeholder capitalism, smart cities and sustainable development. But behind the buzzwords is a quiet war on private property and national sovereignty. Beveridge warns that Australia's population is set to grow by 13.5 million by 2065, mostly through migration. But who benefits from the migration? Well, it's not Australians, not our workers, not our families, not our children and not our grandchildren. So who does actually benefit? According to Beveridge, it's the global investors, developers and the politicians who serve them. In her article, Beveridge makes it clear that the government's mass migration policy is not about diversity. It's about destabilisation. It's about turning the great Australian dream into a corporate investment scheme. She warns that if we don't stand up now, we'll wake up one day and realise that our country was deliberately destroyed. I'm speaking here today not because I'm against immigration. I am against mass unmanaged migration. I'm against policies that put pressure on housing, infrastructure and public services while ignoring the needs of Australians. So today I say to our government, this is what we want. We want migration that meets the real skill shortages, not corporate wish lists. We want affordable housing for Australian families before foreign investment and population surges. We want infrastructure that keeps up with our growth. We want leadership that stands up for the Australian worker and not just the stock market. This rally for me is not about division. It's about balance. It's about building a sustainable, fair and secure future for those who are here now and for those who come after us. I've got a message for our politicians. Australia is not for sale. Our homes are not commodities. And the Australian dream of owning our own home, a piece of land, building our future, raising our families, is worth fighting for. So let's stand together, Australians of every background, and demand a system that works for the Australian people. And let's bring back the lucky country.
Thank you, Tony. There's a very important point to add on to what Tony just said. It's not that Australia is not for sale, but Australia shall not be given away for free either. We worked hard to build this country. We worked hard to build our families. We worked hard to build our neighbourhoods. And our culture is a product of that work. And that's what we're here to protect. It's nationalism in every other country to be proud of your country's history. But for some reason in Australia, to be nationalist or pride is to be attacked. That is wrong. So the message to parliamentarians is to pay attention and stop pandering to global agendas and stop pandering to overseas conferences. Anyone want to know where Albo is today? Where's Airbus Albo?
Yeah, Anthony always...
He's in Chicago, apparently.
Anthony always overseas.
Trying and grovelling to meet President Trump. Let's hope Albo doesn't take Kevin Rudd's 747 with him. Who remembers Kevin 747? Well, Kevin 07. Next person to talk to us today is Sherman. Jump on up, mate.
My fellow Australians, I know that many of you are hurting. It's not just you, but your families, your children growing up in this country. And what we see is a traitorous government that has sold out to international moneylenders and is taking away your future. I have talked to many young men that have just left high school, and one of them broke out in tears and he said, I don't want to have children. And I asked him why. He said, because look at what Australia is becoming. He said, me myself, I can't even afford to buy a house. I can't even do an apprenticeship because my apprenticeship wage is not enough to pay my rent. So we have a housing shortage where we're sending our own countrymen homeless. People living in their vans, their cars, tents, couch surfing. We see it more and more every day. And when we stand up for our own people, we have a certain very small sect of our own countrymen, like the race traitors over there, who turn against their own people in favour of a foreign entity. And all I can say to you people is that nationalism is growing. We outnumber you here today. And even some of you that oppose us now will join us tomorrow. When you can't get a house because they're putting migrants in all the rentals. When you've got so much university debt and you're living in a car with a degree that is worthless. Then you will join our fight. So oppose us today. Call us all the names you wish. But tomorrow you will join our ranks. To all my fellow Australians standing here today, you are the future. I want you to film this today, I want you to take photos, I want you to put it all over social media to show the people that the Aussie fighting spirit is not dead. We will not be crushed under a coward's heel. We will stand and we will fight. Even if we have to bleed on the ground in the process. Because we are willing to bleed and die for what we believe in. Our enemies are not. They'll only fight as long as they outnumber us. Because they are cowards. That is why they cannot debate us. This is why they throw bottles of water at us and call us all the names under the sun. But that's fine. That's good. They're waving a Palestinian flag. that probably never even set foot on the land. Half of them are covering their faces because they're too cowards to stand up for what they believe in. My face is uncovered. Here I am. These people are treated and they are cowards. And they will be treated as such. Because if we cannot solve this by a democratic process, this country will erupt. I don't want that to happen. I want this to be settled in a peaceful way. But the way it's looking, there's going to be a lot of traitors facing the day of the vote. I don't want to see that happen. But when you push a country so far, where people are going homeless, where they can't get a house, where they're taxed so heavily on their wage.
Chemtrails, anybody?
Work 2 jobs, work 3 jobs, and then they get taxed even higher because they're working in other. There's no break for us. And this is why our people need to band together as one collective. Stop being individualists and be tribalists. This is our tribe. We are one beating heart.
Yeah!
Our nation lives within us. It is not a flag on a stick. It is within our very soul. It is our beating heart. That is what makes us Australians. Thank you, Chairman. Now, I've been grabbing a few notes as I've been scanning the social media. I think this one was quite interesting. It's to do with France. France's president said, quote, "But we should not be naive. On the inside, we are turning on ourselves. We doubt our own democracy. We see everywhere that something is happening to our democratic fabric. Democratic debate is turning into a debate of hatred." Now, that's from a hypocrite himself, Mr. Macron.
Check your phone and see
It was
what's going
fostered
through.
a hateful debate across France. So he is obviously starting to realise what's actually going on. Some of the other problems we have is the Australian Liberal Party are not popular. The Liberal coalition is falling apart. Has anybody seen yesterday's news? Barnaby Joyce is going to take over Pauline Hanson One Nation, apparently.
Yes!
That's a bold move. Now, the media will have you have a version of what that is. Insiders have told me that Barnaby's party, all his members went to One Nation. Barnaby didn't have a choice because the Democratic bodies that he relies on in Upper Hunter walked away from him. And he had to follow. And that's what happens up in this place. We'll make our voice heard. I have no idea what they're saying up there because I can't make any sense of it. And so it doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure everybody can hear what we're here to talk about. Well, let's not kid ourselves. I've been saying this for a little bit now. We might be one election away from a permanent Labor government. Now that's not a very pleasant thought. Imagine what it's like in Victoria, where they basically have a permanent Labor government. There's Cairns executive. How's that going, I wonder? So, we have to get...
Apparently the Nazis are here, okay, folks. Well, I don't know about that. I haven't seen any Nazis.
White is the only race that is legally allowed to be discriminated against, particularly white men. Now, that's a string of words I never thought I would say, and here I am saying it. I want you to think about that for a moment. There's only one way that that has come about, and this is the hard conversation, because those idiots are in our parliament, they are in our bureaucracy,
They go to the university. They don't understand the pressure of the cost of housing because they get free housing at university. They get free education at university because they don't have to pay up front. They put it on the tab. And the Labor government charges them interest, throws them a discount every now and again right around election time. When I was a kid, education was basically free. It's been commercialised, and this is now a self-fulfilling problem. The snake is eating its tail.
Is it working?
The road to slavery is paved by convenience. Now, does that make sense? The road to slavery is paved by convenience. This is one of the other reasons we're here today. We push back against the digital ID, the ban on under 16s accessing social media. I'm a father of 5 kids. My eldest is 16. He does not want his younger brothers and sisters trying to use his social media access. He doesn't want Lego movies in his YouTube feed. So I think with more pressure and more noise, the digital ID will be delayed as it is in England, and the under 16 ban will be probably diluted, or it won't be brought in. Already at the moment it's now optional. The ban is only for people who want to log in. So when the government says it's to protect our young, we're not protecting them if they've not signed in. They can still see everything. So one of our chants has to be delete the E-Commissioner and replace her with nothing. Oh, I love that statement. It's not mine. We delete the E-Karen and we replace her with nothing. We are all adults, and if we want to be in a country that prides itself being a country with free speech, then let's protect our free speech. Our next speaker is Fraser Buchanan.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Look, I stood for the Hart Party in the last federal election. I would have stood for Gerard Rennick. I think both of them are fantastic. I think we need to support independence. I think both Liberal or Labor are not going to do us any favours, and they're on the globalist gravy train. They are both signed up to the WEF and the WHO and the UN Agenda 2030. Now, if you know about Agenda 2030, it is about corralling everyone into rental properties, into smart cities, and taking away private property ownership. And they're incrementally working on it. They're making the cost of housing unaffordable for our youngsters, and they're flooding the countries. They're not just flooding Australia, but they're flooding all of Europe.
Thanks, Sato.
Every country in the world is suffering the same thing. We're being flooded with immigration, and it's a big agenda to dilute every country's culture. And in doing so, they're creating the problem, and then they will bring in the solution. And the solution will be to bring in the one world, new world order government. One world government run by the United Nations. They're using climate change as a method of scaring the crap out of people and inflicting costs upon people, which is just out of control. Cost of living, cost of electricity, cost of rentals, cost of housing. It's out of control. Bringing people into this country, creating division. I'm with Tony. We support immigration at a diluted level, at a manageable level. We're a multicultural country. We can't expect black people to leave the country or anything like that. We took the country off the blacks ourselves. So we have a multicultural society. People who come here must enhance being Australian and must enhance living with our culture. They can come with their historical beliefs, but they must not try and destroy our culture. If they come here, you do in Rome what the Romans do. So that's what happens here. So it's wonderful to see. I must have sent those people away. They couldn't have gone. Anyway, they wore their throats out, which is fantastic. So, well done to everyone for not reacting to them overly, a little bit perhaps.
They're gone.
But not
Well, check this out.
We've stood tall, we've done the right thing, we're honourable, we're Australians, we're here for the right reasons, we're here for our children, right? We're here to see our kids get a gig. We want our kids to have a good job. We don't want AI and all the bullshit. We want real work. AI can go to hell. And we don't want digital surveillance control. So next week here is a rally against digital ID and under 16 control and all the other factors that the government are imposing upon us. There's a list as long as your arm of the draconian things that the government have been doing, and what they rely upon is division, creating division, allowing that sort of thing to happen, and creating a divide. But what we need to do is unite. Those people over there,
That was funny as.
they
Oh my
believe
God.
what they're doing is right, and they believe that they care, and they believe that they're trying to set up a better world for themselves. They don't understand what we're talking about. They don't understand what's going on. So for them, we have to be sympathetic to them because they don't get it. They're screaming kids. But once they've woken up, once everyone's woken up, it's our job to wake people up. We have to talk. We have to talk to our colleagues. At work, you've got to drop the bombs. You've got to talk to them. You've got to educate people. That's what the government doesn't want. The government doesn't want us to be communicating and uniting, because if we're a united force, it's all over for them. They're stuffed. We will stand up. Look what happened in the UK. 3 million people turned out for a rally. 3 million people have signed a petition. We're going to do the same. Next weekend, be here or live with the consequences. We have to stop this digital ID grid, surveillance grid, because once they've locked that in, we can cry and whinge and moan, but all that will happen is that we will suffer from it. We will be restricted. We will be punished. If we want freedom, we're going to stand up for it. That's why we're here. We're going to be here next week. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Fraser. Now, apparently they have to get their nappies changed, and it's afternoon nap time, so they've all gone. That's how easy it is, folks. We turn up, and we stick together, and we stick around. And it's all gone really well today for us. It hasn't gone so well for them. We're going to keep doing this, as Fraser said. Next Sunday, we're putting a rally on again, not the march, just the rally here. And the reason why was the national movement chose today to suit all the other states. And there's no one in that house this weekend. They're all there next weekend. So Parliament sits on Monday the 27th. Both houses sit for a fortnight. And that's when Alex Antic will bring his amendments to the digital ID, or if they can get the numbers, they'll scrap it. So if you can come next weekend, we'll reset. We won't do the march, it'll be the rally here. Same thing. But we'll probably get some of the politicians wander out and come and talk to us. They will. They'll come out. So they'll all be in there on the Sunday reading up the legislation, because it's a double sitting of Parliament for 2 weeks. And so it's a chance for us to come back and talk to them. The same as when we rallied on August 31, Pauline turned up with Malcolm Roberts and their Western Australian senator, and they stood just up in front of that monument up there for an hour and a half and took photos with every single person that wanted a photo. She didn't ask for anything back. She didn't do a membership drive. She made herself available, but she walked from the Captain Cook to here as well. So, Pauline, now they've had a few problems in the party, so has Clive. All right, Clive's still out there. Clive's still trying to get the Palmer United Party registered again. There are options. We've also got the Libertarians who are starting to build up their numbers. We have to vote smarter. We've got to put our interests back on the table and stop taking the crumbs that we're offered. Because we've been conditioned to pay tax at the grocery store, tax at the petrol bowser, tax when you register your car. Have you actually looked at your registration documents? There's a motor tax, a road tax, and a registration fee. The registration fee of a car is about $17. The rest of it is a road user charge. But remembering that for every litre of petrol is 46 cents of excise, and then about 18 cents, 17 cents of GST. We should have the best roads on the bloody planet. Wouldn't it be nice if we had an autobahn between here and Sydney? We don't. So we've got Tim wants a quick chat, and we've got Bernie who's going to come up very shortly. Tim, jump up, part of the open mic. He's a bit partial already.
Hello everybody. I've got a few of my kids and friends back there. Family, can you just give us a wave? Thank you. And I said to them I wanted to do something slightly different. So at the start I just want to tell you a few things that I believe. I'm a Bible-believing Christian. And then at the end I want to offer you, Australia, a solution that's not found in that system. So I said to the kids, I better start with a dad joke. Can you put your hand up if you're a dad here, please? So in the last few weeks, thank you, I've travelled from the Snowy Mountains to Victoria to Port Augusta in South Australia and back. And I noticed that Victoria has a very bad drug problem. You can even see it on the road signs. It said, police enforcing speed. So you'll be forgiven if you didn't get it, but hopefully the dads did. Australia in 1770, 1788, and I'm not a historian, but there was a flag that was raised on this land, and I believe it was in regards to an eternal promise, because no one else raised a flag on this place. And I believe as a descendant of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, Israel, not the Jews, this is our land. And you know, when you raise a flag, the law follows the flag. And what have we got here? You cannot have multiple flags, people. You cannot have multiple laws to have peace, to have harmony. When that flag was raised, the ever-living God said, finally, my people have found another land, the great south land of the Holy Spirit. So this is my suggestion, because I agree, that lady before that man, we agree with them. I want Australia to give me 7 men who have wisdom and understanding and knowledge and discernment in the law of God, which is found in the Word of God, which follows the flag that we stand
7,
under.
eh?
And when you give me those men, then we will find 70 men and women who are skillful in every area to take back this country for the ever-living God. I will call on the Royal Australian Air Force, the Royal Australian Navy, and the Royal Army Regiment to join us.
What's your tail message? Get a little bit off script. What's your tail message?
Find me 7 men. Find me and join with me.
Come
Thank
over
you.
and chat to Tim. Come over and chat to Tim. I'm sure there's more than 7 smart blokes here. Right, jump up.
I'm not going to be long at all. I just want to say thank you all for coming. If this stops, they win. If this stops, they win. I love it. I'm so proud. Thank you all.
So, someone else, I didn't get your name before. Leslie's going to have a quick word and then we're going to jump to Bernie. So jump up, Leslie.
So, I'm from Queensland, and
That's okay, by the way.
I have a message of peace and unity. Australia is at a crossroads at the moment where, honestly, these people, and by all means, every single one of them that sit in that place is someone that you can't trust. Those that sit there have lied, deliberately lied, and brought a pandemic against us, but it was a bigger picture. In the meantime, the forces have knocked out people above us, and thanks to Trump, we have been encouraged to unite. I come with a message. My mother is Aboriginal, my father. So let me introduce, I am a Yugurapul, Kamilaroi, Wajiri, Russian, Prussian, Scottish, Irish, and Swedish. So if there's anyone that can speak about division, well, just imagine the division in me. Just imagine the war going on within myself. So at the end of the day, I've come down from Queensland to the horse's head, not the horse's ass, the horse's head, and we're going to take the head off the snake. Tomorrow, I'm going to be standing out there, and I don't care if they're in there or not, because I'm going to declare sovereignty. I'm going to declare. So anyway, going back, my mother said, and she's an Aboriginal elder up in Ipswich, don't knock the invasion, because the invasion gave us something more powerful, which is the Bible and the truth about Jehovah God and Jesus Christ. So there's a bigger picture here. And I actually went to school with Anastasia Palaszczuk, the original, the lockdown queen, I call her. And I went to St. Mary's with her, and I'll tell you what, there was nothing outstanding about her. So come down the lockdown, obviously, without me even knowing it, I was her enemy, and I found out, but they started really attacking me since 2019, wiping me out because I come here for peace. I want Australia to unify. I want you to rise above the people, the division makers in this house. I want you to rise above it and to make peace with fellow Australians, because at the end of the day, Aborigines are fellow Australians. They're just always misled. They got no good bloody leaders. They're all corrupt. And you'll be surprised in the next, from now until December, who's going to go down. So if they resign or if they say that they have cancer, you know that they've been caught for pedophilia or organ harvesting. A lot of them.
There's some pretty tough concepts there. Yes, we are also the great unwashed. You know, a lot of us stood against the mandatory vaccines. That's all gone out the window because of our perseverance. But we're not exclusive. Everyone's welcome. So, we've got a lot of work to do still as a people. If you can do one thing before you turn and walk away today, it's get a phone number off the bloke or the woman standing next to you. Make a friend, stay in touch, swap social media handles, follow each other, keep an eye on what each other is doing. This march is as much about fellowship and reminding you that you are not alone. We have a lot of trouble in our community, a lot of troubled souls. And it's only with looking out for each other that we can solve that problem. So swap a phone number, swap a social media tag, make a new friend, make a plan to come back here next week and the other rallies. Come and meet the twins up the front. The third, triplets, sorry, triplets. We're going to hear from Bernie from Rennick's party, People First. Bernie has started up the Canberra branch, so there's now a branch of that party here in Canberra, and over at the water tent are some of the brochures that are available to hand out. And it's Parliament is only stronger when there is more parties, more party representation. Clearly there's something seriously wrong with the Liberal Party when all their good senators get out of it. So let's hear from Bernie.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, gorgeous ladies. I am very proud to stand here as an Australian, and I'm here on behalf of the People First Party, and Gerard would be the first to say it's not Gerard's party, it's the People First Party. And we are here, there are a number of us here, and as Andrew said, if you want to come and say hi, if we haven't said hi to you already, we'll be over near the water tank if you want to tell us what's important to you, which is really what is important to us, is what is important to you, why are you here, how can we help? I also want to reiterate that we are here for all Australians. It's not People First, just the ones we agree with. We are here as a party, and as Andrew said, newly established in Canberra, and if you want the details of when we meet, which will be every second month, we will have another meeting before Christmas, please go to the People First Party website and the details of those will be on there. But we would love to see you, and we are here for everybody. The people that don't agree with us or don't understand why we're here for all Australians, from wherever we came and from whoever comes next. I'd really like to thank Tony from the Heart Party for her fabulous words. I don't need to give a speech really because I'm just going to say what she said. So we are very much in agreement with that. And I think some of you might be aware that Gerard in Queensland had the Heart Party on their ticket. So as Andrew's saying, we need to form these alliances. We need lots of different voices in Parliament. Some of our parties who align with some things, some of our policies might be slightly different, but at the end of the day, that's what's going to make us stronger. We have expertise in all kinds of areas. So thank you, Tony, and thank you, Fraser, and thank you for the other words that have been spoken here today. One of the things that's made me really sad as an Australian, as a mother, daughter, friend, colleague, is the amount of division that's occurred in our country. It's not Australian at all. It's not the way that I grew up, and it's not the future that I want for my children and grandchildren and your children and grandchildren. We should not be living in a country where we've been allowed to be divided because of the decisions that we make, the faith that we choose, the way we want to wear our hair, where we want to congregate. This has made me incredibly sad. We seem to have lost, I don't believe totally lost, we seem to have forgotten for a period of time how to listen to each other, how to have civil conversations, how to say, hey, I'm worried about this, what do you think? And hear what someone else has to say. It's only through those discussions and respectful debates that we will ever be able to transcend some of the challenges that we have. So I'm really grateful to have seen that as far as I can see today, everybody here has behaved in a way that I'm proud of, has not attacked other human beings, because when we do that, we become the same. We're not here to attack people. We're here to raise issues about policies. We're here to talk about behaviours, and we're here to make a difference. So we welcome everybody that shares those same values. I encourage people to go to the People First website and look at our Constitution first. Before you look at our policies, look at our Constitution first. Because inherent in that are the values that we place on every single Australian. Every single Australian. And we want, as a party, to be giving every single Australian that becomes a member of that party one vote, one value, which means if you are a member of the People First Party, you will have a say in who your candidates are in state and federal elections. And yes, we will be putting together a party for the ACT Legislative Assembly at our next election. And you will have a say on the policies that the party puts forth. How many of you feel like you have a say in the policies that we are living under at the moment? No. That's right.
Hello to the one person watching.
We want you to have a say. As we said, we're just finding our.
Chuck in a comment, say good day.
Please give us a little bit of time to get our websites and our communications and everything all up to speed. But if you want to get in touch with us, there are emails on the website. We will have our own ACT and Surrounds one soon. Thank you all for coming. We're going to have a few of us over there, some lovely people who've also stepped up. And by the way, thank you all of you for stepping up. That's what it takes. This is the last thing I thought I'd be doing in my life at the age of 57. But I'm really proud to do it. And it takes the standing up, and it takes being able to show our faces and say, this is what we believe in. These are the changes that we want to have happen. So thank you. A lot of people have travelled far, endured the heat. Appreciate every single one of you. Join us over there. We'd love to meet you. Thanks so much.
Thank you to Bernie. Now we're getting sort of pretty much to the end. Everyone's been in the sun for a while. We do have a shout out. So some people are going to wander around with the donation buckets. If you could contribute to the cost of this and the water.
Do you have FPOS?
No, we don't have FPOS.
You need FPOS next
I know we need FPOS. But
Cash is king.
king. We just had a chat on both sides and said, no, cash is king. Another thing that we're here for is to keep cash.
Yeah.
Cash rules. But you can contact us during the week as well. As I said, convergeoncanberra.com.au. You can send an email. We can swap a bank detail. It's just the biggest criticism we had from August 31 is the audio wasn't loud enough. We expected 500, we got 5,000. So we've put on a much better setup this time, but it does cost money. Ross is going to give us a 1 minute quick little chat. Then we're going to get someone else, and then we've got a poem to finish off from Guest Lada.
Afternoon all. Just a quick one. The way I see it, if anyone wants to look at the roadmap of Australia, what's going on, what's going to happen, look to Victoria. WA's trying to outdo Victoria at this point in time, but we all look at their machetes and go, what a problem they've got. They created the problem. They paid their mates off, old Pratt, with these bins that aren't working, but the Victorian government now is coming to the aid of the people to install more cameras. And that's what the whole aim was. Well, that's the end game, is ID. They're just going to close us down. The government has now given themselves the authority to take your driver's licence photos for the digital ID. I don't know whether you're all aware. Yep, that's what's happening. So if you want to see and you want a talking point to talk to friends and family, look at what's going on in Victoria. It's a long-held Labor state, and that's where that's the testing ground for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross, and a very wise point. They always test their plans out somewhere. Obviously, Australia is a testing ground for global agendas. Victoria is the testing ground for the Australian agendas. Seth's going to jump up and bring us to a bit of a close, and then we've got Jess, and then a closing prayer.
Alrighty, hi all, thanks for coming. You know, we've lost half the crowd, but that's okay. They know where to go for information. So, today was brought to you by, you might have heard it a couple of times, Converge on Canberra. This is our second event. Our first one was the 31st March for Australia. We've covered this one for March for Australia. And the next official March for Australia event, they're going to go a little bit quiet over the next couple of months for the festive season. But they're planning a massive turnout for Australia Day. So everybody get prepared for that. So what I want you to do is keep an eye on March for Australia website, March for Australia Facebook, Instagram, wherever you find them, and Beck Freedom. Any further information will come from her. There is a float campaign, not quite sure what that's going to look like at the moment, but we'll stand by for more information. We personally, as Converge on Canberra, we're having our next event next Sunday.
Come on, someone give me a comment.
On the lawns of Parliament House, you've heard that. There will be another few events by a few different organisations being done across Australia. We urge you to join whichever ones you want. The more that we come out, the more that we stand up, and the more that we stand up for our beliefs and our country, the better off that we all are. Yes. So thank you all for coming. It's been an absolutely brilliant turnout today. It looked a little bit iffy at the start, but then you all turned up over there, you all come out of the car park, and put a big smile on my face. Canberra today, as a Canberra local, today Canberra has seen the most action in the not good kind that we've seen. If you were a part of EPIC, you're a part of that time. You would have done plenty of marches, you would have been a part of plenty of actions, and you would know that we have never ever had the police come at us quite like we saw today. So you guys know that you're on the right team, you're on the right side. So thanks all for coming, keep an eye on your social media, and share, share, share. And not only social media, we need to start getting action in the real world, putting our flyers, putting them up at shops, wherever. It's the social media that's dampening our message now, so we've got to get it out into the real world in the old-fashioned way. All right, love you guys, and thank you so much for constantly showing up.
Thank you, Seth. Seth puts in a lot of work. All of the volunteers who are bringing all of this, they give up their time because it's what they believe. But Jess Larder is going to give us a poem, and then we'll close with Tony with her closing prayer.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm really proud to be here with you all. This is my poem. We've pocketed the news, dismissed radio and alternate views, switched the obviousness of a billboard for tiny screens and counterfeit light hues. Dystopian tyrants rule with the population confused. Oblivious construction is complete on the new human zoo. We have algorithms propelled by capitalism, bottled water and plastic packaging, a fear of boredom and peace. Governments police your mind before they police the streets. I think that we dangerously assume that historically certain peoples were immune to propaganda's claws. We say they had to have had a clue. They had to have known none of it was true. How bold of our society to conclude as we shuffle our families in front of the 6 o'clock news. Congratulations to Western civilization. You convinced entire nations they are thinking, moving of their own volition as you programmed away thoughts of sedition until their vocabularies didn't include dangerous words. Such a clandestine operation of cunning calculation, rewriting history with your Hollywood dollhouse, reminding us heroes are just cats that can play mouse. Question every single thing you are told until you are certain it's the truth your mind holds. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Jess. Come on, Tony. Tony has prayer for us.
Now, you don't need to be religious and you don't need to believe in meditation, but it is a fact that research suggests that when people gather in large numbers to meditate or pray, there can be a measurable positive effect on both the people that are doing the meditation and prayer and around the surrounding area. Now, the reason this happens is because thoughts, intentions, prayers and meditations are energetic transmissions that ripple outward and subtly affect the environment and other people. So if you would like to, just listen to my prayer and send out love into the universe. My prayer is directed to Parliament House and those that are elected, and let's hope today we can send some ripples that way that give us a positive result. So, in stillness we gather, in silence we gather, in stillness we rise. With each breath we ground ourselves in peace. With each heartbeat we connect to compassion. We come not in anger but in love, not in noise but in presence. We stand before this house of power, a place where decisions are made, laws are passed, and futures are shaped. And we pray that those who walk these halls do so with wisdom, that they listen with humility, they speak with honesty, act with courage, and lead with love. We pray that every voice is valued, every life protected, every decision guided not by ego but by service. We ask that only those with hearts for the people enter here, leaders who serve not power but the common good, leaders who see the faces beyond the policies, the families behind the figures, the sacred humanity in every citizen. Let justice flow like a mighty river through these chambers. Let truth be their compass. Let compassion be their guide. And as we stand and breathe and hold space in silence, may this stillness ripple into every corner of power and awaken conscience where it sleeps. We are one voice in many bodies, one prayer in many hearts, one present, one hope. In silence we gather, in stillness we rise. Thank you. Amen.
We are one, but we are many. Thank you all. Thank you all. Very, very humble to have so many people make their effort, their time. People have travelled from a lot of different areas. That's the level of commitment. The Labor Party has a policy of net zero. Anyone ever thought what that means? Zero accountability, perhaps? Zero holidays in Australia, perhaps?
Zero carbon-based units. Just us.
elbows over on his knees to Trump, begging for some nuclear submarines. The Australia that I studied at school, we would have just built our own bloody nuclear submarines. And it's a fun fact that we actually built our own computer in 1949. So we were the 5th country on the planet in human history to build our own computer called CIRAC. I'm forgetting it, CIRAC. CSIRAC, Commonwealth Scientific something analytic computer. My brain's frying now. We weren't allowed to share information with other countries, so we invented our own computer. Australia was the first country in the world to invent a hard drive. Hard drives were invented in Australia, not just clotheslines, the hard drive. The Australian computer was the first computer in the world to play music. We have a proud history as a country, a proud history of invention, because we were so far over the seas. We were only eclipsed in some occasions by New Zealand, who was just that bit further. New Zealand, the Britain motorcycle, massive fan of the Britain motorcycle, the V1000. Australia and New Zealand travelled as brothers and sisters, Commonwealth countries, common interests, with a friendly rivalry on the football pitch. But the Kiwis are allowed to be proud and loud, so are us Aussies. So we reject the nationalist criticism. We are proud of our nation. That's why there is only one flag up there on that structure, on that flagpole. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for sharing. Remember, March for Australia is a hashtag. Canberra for a hashtag. I know Elon Musk said hashtags are yesterday's news, but they actually still work. Convergeoncanberra.com.au. Well, share your photos, share your live streams, make a friend, take someone's phone number home with you, make a plan to come back. Australia Day next year could well be January. The Australia Day rally, let's go all the way back to Parliament down there. Let's fill up both lawns. We can do the audio. These guys are pretty good at the audio. So thank you to Ian and his family for the audio. Thank you to the Federal Police. Thank you to the Federal Police. The Federal Police, I feel like they're on our side.
I reckon that they are. Look, just remember, next Sunday, 12 o'clock, we're here because it's important. We need to stand up on this digital ID, surveillance grid, the social credit system, that whole enslavement thing. That's what they want to get in, and we need to rise on that. That's the most important thing. If they push that through, then we're cactus, we're stuffed. We can have our views, but it means nothing. We'll just be punished every time we dissent. We need the freedom to dissent as we feel. So be here next Sunday, bring everyone you know, 12 o'clock right here, and there'll be some good speakers here next week. Okay, see you. Thank you.
Righto, so we'll call it quits there. Next week, bring 10 friends, or 20. Bring your family. I brought my kids. You saw our little dog. We are your... Come and meet the twins. The twins say they haven't got enough friends. Let's show them that they're wrong. Grab some water. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you next Sunday, 12 o'clock. No marching, just gathering. There's ice cream over in the car park apparently. Might be a coffee truck around somewhere.
Good water.
And we're going to go back to the music. Thank you all.
Have a bottle of that, mate. Yeah, good.
Oh, just did a donation bucket, thank you. Just in that bin just there. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. All right, bud. Have a good one. See ya.
Well, folks, that's done from Canberra.
Yep.
Going home now. Hello. There you go.
Hey, hi and bye. Oh, that was a good day.
It was, yeah. Well done, what you said. It was perfect. Okay.
Thank you very much.
See ya. There's this little ladies on the... So, okay. I'm going to end this. You hold that for a sec.
Yep.
So, I'm going to compile this into one show. Do that next week sometime. So, those that haven't seen it live, it'll be back. So be good to each other. Cheerio, folks. Yeah.